This is off the record, not for real. This is off the record.
I wonder, do you ever, has there ever been a time where you regretted showing like all of you on social and you're like, y'all don't deserve this much of me, or maybe they didn't receive it the way you wanted?
Oprah had once said that, and I'm paraphrasing, but she basically said that was her one regret, and to keep it really private. And she said, Beyonce, you're smart. You're smart to keep your marriage.
And she said Beyonce really took it to the next level.
I know. And she was like, she said no.
Is she married? We don't know.
No. I get that. Now I don't presume to be as famous as Beyonce or Oprah, but I said to myself from the very beginning, I'm gonna keep my private life, especially something as sacred as my marriage and my relationship, private. I'm gonna keep this private because I love my husband and my husband loves me. And in the very beginning, when I would show my relationship bits and pieces of it, my husband is handsome.
Oh.
I'll tell you that. Noted. Where's my camera? It's right here.
Yeah.
I love my husband. I climb him like a jungle gym. That's all you need to know. When I would show bits and pieces of a relationship, a lot of those posts would like really blow up. This is like in the very beginning. But also the more they blew up, the more commentary we got on people just making stories up about literally making stories up about my relationship, or who makes more money, or how he must feel, or what he's like, or people. I'm really protective of my family and my husband. I didn't like people that made comments, just mean comments about even, how he dressed or whatever, what he looks like, which is, again, my husband's very handsome. I love my husband. I'm just saying there's always a troll out there.
Oh, yeah.
I can take it. I can take people trolling my appearance. My friends and family never asked for that.
Yeah.
They didn't sign up for this. They're sort of these innocent bystanders. This isn't a passing of judgment. I'm impressed and surprised by the non-famous people in famous people's lives who end up, they seem okay with this. I feel for them so deeply because I know how much therapy this takes. Like, I know how much work this takes to put myself out there like that. None of you guys signed up for that. So I'm sorry that this is such a long roundabout answer. But what I wanted to say was my only regrets have ever been when I didn't honor my own boundaries with keeping my private life private. And every single time, like if I just said a little bit too much about my ideals on, marriage or relationships, I'll talk about it. Don't get me wrong. I will talk about it. I'm talking about it now. But I think you should have boundaries. I think you should have things that you will talk about and you won't talk about. Yeah. The only regrets I ever have is when I felt I didn't protect my private life well enough because I felt pressured in that moment to share more than I was ready to share.
Yeah.
I
know, I agree with that. We were saying on an earlier episode that whatever you share, people then feel entitled to continue to know about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like whatever I put out there, I have to feel comfortable with people consistently and continually asking me about that.
Because you can't all take it away.
You can't.
You can't take it back.
And people feel like now, like we have a right to know about this.
Yeah. And it started to become, so in the very beginning, I called my husband Edward. When I was that transatlantic woman in the very beginning of my career. No.
Okay.
No one knew that wasn't his name. So people would start to be like, where's Edward? Where's Edward at? Show us Edward. People start commenting. I only followed her for Edward. Where's Edward? I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Blocked.
First of all,
that was weird.
It was a weird thing to say to a show. They're like, where's Edward?
And so then it started to turn into, I've even had people comment really mad at me. Like, why don't you show your husband more? Are you ashamed? And they're getting mad. And I'm like, this emotion, the way you're reacting right now is exactly why I've made the right choice in picking and choosing when and how I share. You can see photos of my wedding. Again, I want to be really clear. It's not a secret. I love my husband. Like, it makes me emotional. Like, I love my husband. He like protects me in so many ways. And like, this is like the one way that I can protect him too. And so that's why I pick and choose what I'll share.
I love that. And I think what people don't understand too is, like, for example, if you were famous because you were an actress, you could focus on the craft and then ignore it. But when on social, it's so intertwined with your personal life.
Totally.
It's you showing up as you, which is a blessing, but it could also be a curse.
Yeah, I'm characters, but I also share my personal life. And therefore, now. So now I think I have a good relationship. When my husband appears in something, people go, oh, this is so fun. I love when there's a sighting of your husband. That's really nice. I'm like, I love it too. But it has to be on his terms and mine.